here. It was a bad dream. The look on your face didn't say it was nothing. I must say, the countenance you have now would beg otherwise. Oh, dear Lady Knight. My brave knight, I already know that you have the heart of a dragon, but amidst all of my healing capabilities, I so dearly wish that I could take those awful thoughts away. I wish that I could give you at least a good rest, if nothing else. But alas, it seems for creatures like you and I, the gift of a long rest may not always be possible. You may say you're fine, but you underestimate the power of a long rest. What is it? Battle? Again? Perhaps if it didn't bother you in the past, it may have been that the results of this last one were almost fatal. I'd rather not talk about that. I'm sure it wouldn't help you. What I'm trying to say, though, Lady Knight, brave knight, is that it's normal to be a little uneasy. I may not be an expert on humans, but I know that you all are better off in numbers. By yourselves, the mind begins to betray itself. Thank you. You could hear my voice. How so? I thought I could hear yours too, but it was so faint, as if it was far away. No, it's not the ring that did that. There may be an abundance of magical trinkets all over this land, but no. What I gave you was a promise. A promise to bring a friend home. And so if there is anything troubling you tonight, think about this one simple thing. We are far away from Black Hills now. We are just outside of the Cerulean domain. Your kingdom. Your home. You'll be back with your own kin again. Friends. Loved ones. You won't have to worry about being alone again, if that was ever something you were worried about. What do you mean you don't wish to go home? And why do you wish to follow me? You say that you wish to follow me, and then you ask where I am going. Lady Knight, what is it that you seek? Why don't you wish to go home? From what I know, humans, and even humanoids, elves, merfolk, wolfkin, they all belong better in groups. I found that it's even healthier for you that way. Why do you need these answers? Wouldn't you just be happier, having newfound powers, renewed strength, impressive endurance, constitution, the company of a dragon that you might visit every now and then? Why do you want these answers? Would they give you more peace at night? Oh, Lady Knight. It's true. I do wish to leave as well. But the place I am going to is a land of bones. A place cursed for monsters, they say. I'm going back to my home, the land of my birth. Yes, alone. That's what I imagined would happen. Do you still wish to go find your answers as to why you might have these renewed powers? Even though you have yet to ask me what you will do with them. Don't you have kin back at home? Family, friends, loved ones? People who are worried sick and wondering where you are? No one? No parents? No siblings? Perhaps extended kin? Perhaps, yes, but none you were close with. Surely then you must have some friends. And if it be all right for me to ask, why did you not show any interest before? It is true. The social spheres of humanity is much more complex than anything animalistic, but I would consider it a feat to be able to make friends at this point. But it's also a blessing. Surely you didn't think that you'd spend your entire life training until eventually you'd unlock a new power? You don't know. And so now, if I had to guess, you want to find the one thing that makes sense in your life. And you're right. Perhaps it isn't good for a dragon to be by itself, without a human. You know, I had never thought of this before now. But maybe, just maybe, that's why I've enjoyed the company of humanoids. Perhaps there's a degree of charm that you all possess. One that's enlightening. But it means a lot that you would want to accompany me. Yes. I'm happy. I'm happy that you want to go with me. Then to my home we go. Into the Valley of Bones. Then we best get some sleep before we go. It is a long flight indeed. Many more nights await us. Noble night. What was that? My family. You wanted to know? Good night, Lady Night. If you want to know about my family, you will see them tomorrow. We're here now. The Valley of Bones, as we call it. And that putrid stench is why it's named such. Miles and miles of bones, carcasses, and death. The scent attracts many different creatures, mostly scavengers, and of course predators. And in turn, those predators hunt the other scavengers, pick at the corpses, and hunt other predators. If I'm not mistaken, I would wager that all this death and carnage likely has made the soil very fruitful, for a reason. That can only attract more herds. And thus, that cycle of death and constant killing continues. You'd think the smell of death would dissuade herds from coming. Matter of fact, I think the only thing that doesn't come here are humans. At least not anymore. Yes, anymore. Dearest Lady Night, behold the Valley of Bones, remnants of the old empire. Hundreds of years ago, a conqueror united this continent, and upon it, built this realm. I don't know the exact histories of the humans, but much of what I know extends to here. It's all linked to this valley, a place that used to be thriving. In some ways still is. But the creatures who once dominated it now never come here. Maybe for that reason it's so wild and untamed. Yes, those are dragon bones you see among the remains. Perhaps some of the oldest as well. Dear Knight, you are looking at my home, or what remains of it. You don't need to apologize about what you asked last night. It was a perfectly normal, I would even say endearing question. I did ask about your home, your kin, did I not? And I asked because I cared. I suppose if you cared about me too, it'd only be natural that you ask. Would it not? Maybe another time, but for now, let's be on the lookout. The types of creatures here may not be conventional to what you've seen before. Well, for one, in this valley I've seen everything from conventional direwolves to bison beast, or what is it, the four-legged minotaurs that consume meat? Not sure how they came about. Once I did see a wyvern here too. Indeed, the wyverns here may be breathless, but that does not make them any less dangerous. They can be powerful. They have to compensate for something. Many of them compensate with cunning, others with raw power. We've been flying for a few hours. I'd like to find a cave before nightfall. Sun is going down. There's a set of ruins up there. I believe it was an old outpost, or something of the line. We should find something for you to sleep in. I'll sleep outside. No, I'll be perfectly fine. If I'm not mistaken, you need your four walls. It'd be nice to not sleep on the ground for once, right? You don't have to lie to me, Lady Knight. Your chest is pressed up against my back. I can all but feel your heartbeat from here. And that quickening pace, too. The mere mention. Was it me reading your emotions? Or the thought of you pressed up against me so tightly? Well, you best hang on tighter. Yes, I did say that we should be cautious, but I did not smell any wyverns, I did not see any drakes, or any other creatures that could oppose me. If anything, my roar would have scared off most predators. Besides, we'll only stay a night here. If there's anything that hunts dragons, then it won't be here in the morning. Besides, look over at that cliffside over there. Leagues above the ground. I don't think anything will be able to scale this cliff in time, and if it can fly up here, we'll have a decent vantage of it before it arrives. There are no trees atop this cliff, only a dusty, sandy scape. Nothing but rocks before it finally hits the woods beneath us, and even that is a good several meters or so. We should be safe here. But first, allow my tail to... It's all clear. Doesn't smell like humans have been here in almost 100 years, though. The scent is very faint, only dusty. Make yourself at home. Maybe I could find us something to eat while we're out here. What say you? Start a fire? No, like I said, I won't stray too far. I'll be back with something good to eat. Wish me luck. Here you are. That is a bison beast, at least what I call it. Well, look at it. Sizable, bison-like creature. Very large forelimbs and muscular arms. It's like a bear. It runs on all fours but can stand up occasionally. And there's those horns. In my defense, before you say anything, this creature was hunting a group of cattle. One that had a baby among them. I believe that there is a circle of life to all things, but in my own personal creed, if you could call it that, I think that before anybody dies, they should at least have a chance at living. And that little calfling was still a baby. Besides, I hear the bison meat is quite flavorful. Yes, my apologies for tearing it up a bit. At least the limbs don't have my saliva all over it. Look at you, looking on the bright side. Indeed. Maybe you could save the other couple of limbs for the journey. Yeah, let's prepare this. No, that roaring was me that you heard. Well, I wasn't hunting something, I was scaring something off. Yes, it was another dragon. Indeed, it resulted in a contest of roars, if you could say. Well, we just tried to intimidate the other. No, there wasn't any fighting. At least not a couple of snaps of jaws. It could breathe fire, but I suppose once it saw the fire was put out by an icy breath, I think it realized that its one weapon was gone. We were roughly the same size, but it doesn't matter. It won't be bothering us tonight. I think I just ventured too close to its territory. We'll just need to avoid the south side of the valley, opposite from where we're going. Well, it couldn't talk. I don't know why it couldn't talk. I just know that... Look, you must understand, dear knight. Not every dragon can speak. Again, I don't know why. Part of me wants to go back home to see why. I see you still have the ring. Family crest, you say? Did you find any matching symbols around here? You did now? No. The ring would not have given you any powers. But yes, you are correct. The ring was held here. And as you know, it belonged to my former rider. Rather, it bears both the crest that you see all over this barracks, outpost, whatever this place was. But it also bears insignia on the middle. One of the ways they kept their crests united is the royal crest held in the background, with the personal crest at its center. I suppose you could say it was a term of endearment, or an intimidation tactic, keeping one's crest larger than the others. whatever the reason might be, any power that you would have gotten would have been hereditary. Well, I don't suppose the ring might have helped ignite that power, but maybe it was my presence that did that, you say? Well, it is possible. But no, it's not just because of me. You see, we have a saying where we come from. The predator hunts for prey, but the hunter can stalk the predator. Be the hunter. Or rather, take the initiative. Many people, I'm sure where you come from, possess many talents, many benefits afforded to them by family, loved ones. It's not particularly evil to wish the best for your children, even help them. But if someone does not use any of these talents, what's the point in keeping them? And so thus, if someone came from one of these old lineages, then their talents wouldn't have shown up unless they pursued them. Yes, I do think that you're pursuing them. I didn't tell you to go home, but I did offer you the chance to go home. Dear Knight, if you had gone with me because I had forced you to come, would that be an example of you being proactive, a hunter, so to say, chasing the mark? Or would it be because I told you to come with me? Precisely. You're a trainer of arms, a knightess, someone who's strong, capable, clever, crafty, someone who is both a product of elegance and a mastercraft of weaponry, martial skill. But if you wanted to be the greatest among your kind, you would have had to actively pursue both, yes? I did not want to force you to come out here because you would not have found anything. Matter of fact, I'm very glad that you were searching around this outpost. I believe if you do search for answers, you'll find them in time. Answers to what question? Lady Knight, I've been honest with you. I'm not dodging questions. Yes. Because it is a painful point of discussion. I have family, yes. And it's not of pain of losing them that makes me not want to talk about it. It's that I have no answers yet. I don't know who my mother was, and I'm fairly sure there's no way of me to find out who my father was. All that I know is that I was born as just a single egg to a mother who couldn't bear any more. I have some glimpses of my mother. I have some images in my head of what she looked like. She was beautiful, strong, majestic, gleaming in silver scales. Truly, she was every bit the icon that I see emblazoned upon your shields, your banners, your coats of arms. I miss her dearly. I miss that I did not ever know her truly. Regardless. No, I'm fine, Lady Knight. You don't need to worry about me. It's nightfall now. Why don't we continue this in the morning? maybe we could find more of those sigils that bear your family name. Maybe we can find a coat of arms around here whose personal crest matches something on your family lineage. And we can see what needs to be done from there. Good night, dear knight. I will sleep behind the outpost. My face should get a good vantage point of the valley. I'll see you in the morning. Lady Knight, what is it? Nothing? You just... Inside the outpost would be much more comfortable, I'm sure. You'd be sheltered in there. Thank you. I would perhaps like someone nearby. Although I apologize, my scales may not be the most comfortable bedding. But perhaps the membrane from my wings might provide some insulation? Anything to help out a dear one. Don't feel sorry. You have no need to apologize. As we said before, it was perfectly natural for you to be curious. And indeed I have diverted from the topic more than once. Yes, I suppose creatures like you and I are outside the natural things. A lady knight, a woman, with a heart of a dragon. Two unlikely creatures banding together to brace against the wild. I look forward to hearing the songs about this tale. But in some ways there are ways that we are subject to nature. I thought often about the dragons I meet that are more bestial. You see, I remember at one point you had asked if dragons were dying off. I gave you a mixed answer. I gestured to some creatures outside, including that colossal behemoth far outside my original cave. But in some ways, we are dying off. Not in body, in mind, in heart. Don't be angry. What are you to be angry at? Who is to blame? No. No excuses, Lady Knight. Who is to blame? Nature itself? The cosmos? Or would you try to blame humanity again? Noble knight, you are not insignificant, and humanity is not a curse on this world. If you did not rule it, someone else would. I recall tales of some saying dragons once ruled this world, before other saurian beasts contested us for it. Do you know what happened at the end of that fable? From the ashes we created, humanity came forward. There was nothing we could do about it. Lady Knight, stop. If you give in to this carnal rage, that power that you obtained will consume you. Stop burdening yourself with forces you can't control. If nothing else, don't join it. Do not be the fool I was. Lady Knight, you know what lineage I come from. I was part of this empire. Even if only in its waning years, I was part of it. I had a rider. Several, in fact, but one. My last one. Reminded me so much of you. But she gave in to her rage, and that is what caused that downfall. She had a family once, and I never got to see them. It wasn't just humans that torched their city. It was my kin. And now we've regressed. As much as I should be depressed about this city turning to ruins, this valley becoming nothing but death, that was out of our control. Have you ever held a creature in your arms that wasn't human, but still one for which you possessed a great love for? A family dog? A bird? A feline? Livestock? Anything? Lady Knight, the sadness I felt, the two precious hunting dogs of that family, did not hold a candle to when I lost the family itself. I never got to see their children grow up. And my rider only had herself to blame for not being there. I tried time and time again. Stop blaming yourself for forces you can't control. And here I am being subject to forces I can't control. Thank you for being here. I hope one day that you won't always see your fellow beings as confusing or uninteresting. If you want to know my dream still, my dream is that one day you will be able to visit me in that cavern with a lovely, adoring partner by your side, or better yet, one day with a little one, a little Lady Knight, one that is just like her mother. I promise you, as I swear to protect you, I will do everything to ensure that that child grows up as anyone would hope. They'll be better than both of us. And even if that day comes when nature takes my thoughts, reduces me to an animal, my last thoughts will be of you. I believe that when dragons go without humans for a long time, we revert back to our animalistic ways. Whether it be in a generation or two, or in the same one. I hope that when we are gone, if that day ever comes, please remember me. Please remember me, because you will always be the last thought on my mind. Thank you for joining me tonight. Lady Knight, you need to see this. I believe I found some. Come on, get on my back. I'll fly you to it. Let me get your pack. I woke early. I didn't want to wake you. So I went flying around. Thought I'd scout ahead. You won't believe what I just saw. It's over here. It's inside this building. Looks like a main room in here. It even has a little space for, you could say, a draconic face to fit through. Although I'm not exactly sure if I look quite like a welcome guest or a head mounted on the wall. Quite literally. But over there, toward the front. The front tapestry. Yes. That's the sigil you were looking for. Exactly. It's a perfect match. Except it's not in the center of the sigil. It's... Lady Knight? What did you say your house name was? Oh, dearie. Lady Knight? Or should I say, my liege? Lady Knight, that sigil is from an extended branch. You need to understand that the emperor of this empire had many dragon riders, bravehearts as we later called them. They acted as the emperor's eyes, ears, and mouth. They carried as much authority as the emperor. Only the emperor himself, or an empress, held more dominion than them. They were royalty. You come from an extinct line. So thought extinct line. My goodness. I don't know how to process this, but I had always suspected it. Look at that ring. That personal sigil. The 4 sigils on the outside of the banner up there. I always thought such. Dearest Lady Knight, it is you. You who I have sworn to protect, as well as your descendants. You are indeed a descendant of my rider, my last, my greatest, my family, the kin, the closest kin I have ever felt in my existence. And I will always be there beside you. Indeed, there is so much that this could mean. I don't think you would have a claim to press, no doubt. Not that we need any more wars across this land, but... What is that sound? Hello, Knight. I've been looking for you both.